With rent and home prices rising, a lot of people are wondering if they can get help when buying a home. Now in this video, I'm going to go over two programs that Bank of America has that can give you grants totaling over $17,000 and you don't have to pay it back. What's up guys, I'm Jacques. I'm a licensed realtor and lender in the state of Florida. On this channel, I'm going to teach you different wealth tips, and today I'm going to be talking about the Bank of America grant. Now, Bank of America has a community home ownership commitment program that's dedicated to help low-income and modest-income borrowers. With home ownership and home prices on the rise, it's actually having a program to assist home buyers just like yourself. Now, Bank of America is working to help people become first-time homeowners by targeting low and moderate income communities. To this date, the company has helped over 29,000 people become homeowners and has given out over $270 million in grants. Now the project, which started back in 2019, is called the Bank of America Community Home Ownership Commitment. Its commitment was to raise $15 billion through 2025 and the goal of helping over 60,000 individuals and families buy homes. There are a lot of programs that are out there, and this one is interesting to me because it's a grant, which means you don't have to pay it back. Now with FHA conventional loans, sometimes there's a requirement on how long you have to live there in case you want to rent it out or use it for an Airbnb. Now with this program, there are no minimum time requirements for you to stay there as well. Bank of America already has helped over 29,000 homeowners and already spent over $270 million in grants already so far. And 85% of those people are first-time home buyers. Now let me go over the two grant options that you have. The first option is the down payment grant option. And with that option, the down payment grant program gives eligible buyers of 3% of the home's purchase price up to $10,000, whichever is less, towards the down payment with no repayment required. Now this funding is available in more than 260 cities and counties. So with that being said, if you're pre-approved for $300,000, 3% of that $300,000 is $9,000. So your cap is $10,000. So Bank of America is able to give you $9,000 of that $10,000 down payment that you are required to have for that home. And as you know, with this market, every single dollar counts. So with this grant, it actually helps you put more money in your pocket for other things that you might need down the road. And if you're not familiar, there are two parts when trying to buy a home. There's the down payment side, and then there's the closing cost side. The down payment side, that money goes allocated towards the home price and the equity of the home. And then there are closing costs, which are for title fees, taxes, insurance, your inspection, appraisal, and things like that. There's also another grant that Bank of America has that helps out with the closing costs as well. And that part is called the America's Home Grant, which can give you up to $7,500 in total. And that could be used for any non-reoccurring closing costs, such as title company fees, or even paying down your mortgage interest rate, which you can buy down the rate and make that interest rate even lower. The America's Home Grant credit for the closing costs does not have to be paid back, just like the down payment assistance grant as well. It's in over 800 cities, so make sure you check the description box below and to see if your city is eligible for these programs. And because these are grants, these can actually be merged together, totaling up to $17,500 in closing cost credits and down payment assistance that you don't have to come out of pocket for. Now the program does require you to have a 640 credit score to get approved for the program, so make sure you look at your credit score. I would recommend going to myfico.com. That way you check your FICO score. Don't use Credit Karma because most financial institutions don't use Credit Karma, so definitely use myfico.com to look at your FICO score, so that way you can check your middle score, which will get you qualified. Since I'm a lender, I'm going to give you guys a few quick tips that I noticed just to help you save some headache and some frustration down the line. First, when you go to these big banks with these grant programs, they normally typically close between 30, I would say 45 days. In this market, and we're in a competitive market, you'll want your closing to be done as quickly as possible because the seller wants to tap out of their equity and close on the home. So what I would recommend for you to do is first check your credit score and check to see if you're at the 640 minimum credit score. So by going to myfico.com and get your 3 credit scores, check the middle score and make sure that's over 640. Now once that's done, go ahead and apply for the grant program and make sure that you give everything over to the underwriters and to the loan representative when you speak to them. And what I mean by that is Bank of America is known for giving pre-qualifications and not pre-approvals. I would always recommend for you to get a pre-approval only because it gives them a full detailed look on your full financial situation. So give them all your W-2s, tax returns if needed, pay stubs, bank statements, everything that's needed. If you're not giving them all that information and you go into contract, it can actually backfire on you later on. That's not going to help the situation. What I noticed with the big banks is that sometimes they wait till after you're in contract before they start diving into your financial situation. Get a pre-approval first. You will hate to wait until after you're in the contract and then at the end they say you're not eligible for the grant. So always make sure that you don't have all your ducks in a row. Still save money. Have the grant as a backup just in case if they come around at the end and say you're not qualified. Definitely save money for your closing costs and down payment and have it as a backup plan just in case if something would happen at the end. So I would recommend definitely having your own money just in case if the deal falls through. It will suck for you to go into a home, fall in love with it, and then you don't get the grant money that you were thinking you were gonna get, and then at the end everything falls apart. Now if you enjoyed this information so far, go ahead and smash that like button because it helps out the channel a lot, so other people like yourself can see this video. Now the next tip that I would advise you to do, it will be in the description box, is check to see if your area is eligible for the grant. Again, the last thing that you want to do is at the end, when the agent checks to see if your city or state is eligible for the program and it doesn't qualify. This can save you a lot of time and frustration because buying a home is all about money and time. And you definitely want to make sure that you have all your ducks in a row. First, as I stated, is check your credit. Go to myfico.com and just check to see if you're over 640 for this program or any program that you're trying to get. Next, make sure you have money already allocated and use these funding programs as a backup. You don't want to use it solely for the purpose of buying a home if you can, because what can happen is at the end, if you don't have the funds to close, you're not going to get that home. Also guys, a quick tip, with this market, a lot of people are trying to sell their homes within 21 days or 30 days. These programs do take a little bit longer, so do take that into consideration when you're trying to buy a home, and that might actually turn off some sellers into choosing your contract. So you definitely want to make sure you save your money for the quickest closing and have it as a backup. And also reach out to different lenders if you can to see which programs work best for you, and just be cautious on being too dependent on these programs just in case if it doesn't work out. As always guys, I'm Jacques, and I appreciate you guys watching this video and allow me to help you get into your next home.